In this session, we are going to learn about REST operator. Before moving into the concept, let us understand using one simple analogy. There is a school in which annual function preparation is going on, and there is one group of students who will be performing in this function. So for this, principal has strictly warned students who are coming first, only they will be part of this group, whether they are interested or not. Students who are coming first, they will be part of this group, and students who are coming late, they will not be part of this performing group. So to handle this latecomers, in between, we are having one teacher who will strictly restrict this latecomers to join in this performing group. Students who came first, they are part of this chorus group, but students whoever coming last, what teacher will be doing? Teacher will be making another group, or teacher will just instruct them to go and stand somewhere. Later on, if it is needed, they can perform in some other program, or maybe next time they can perform in some other functions. But as of now, based on the principal instruction, these students will not be part of main chorus group. So rest the students who are coming late, they will not be part of chorus group, but they will be part of some other group. Okay, this is what teacher will be doing. And in JavaScript, teacher will be treated as REST operator. So in JavaScript, what REST operator will be doing? Whichever elements we want to give variable name, we can give them variable name. And if we are not using other elements, we can just use REST operator and assign one group to them. Practically, we will understand in more better way. And this analogy is only to understand the main concept of the topic. Do not go deep into the analogy, or else you will mess up with your mind. And maybe in interview, if they are asking questions, if you are not remembering the language concept, at least you will remember this analogy story, so that you can remember the concept and you can easily give answer in your interview. Okay, now you just have to remember the rest of the students who are coming late will be part of another group. This is what REST operator means. Now here, three dots. So do not be mesmerized with these three dots. Do not be overwhelmed with these three dots. These three dots are nothing but it represents REST operator. In next session, we will learn about spread operator. Spread operator will also be having three dots, but there is a subtle difference between REST operator and spread operator that I will be showing you in next session. But remember, for REST operator, we will be using three dots. So now, what is REST operator? So what REST operator will be doing? It is going to pack multiple elements into a single array. So that group is nothing but it is an array. Inside one single array, we will be packing this multiple elements. So when I come to analogy, that group is called array and all the latecomers are called as elements. So all the elements will be packed in one group. Okay, that group is nothing but it is an array. And rest, why it is called rest? Because it will be taking all the rest elements. Okay, it is not going to take the starting element. Teacher will not be taking the students from chorus group. They already came first. They will be part of chorus group. Okay, rest the students who are late, only those will be taken by rest operator and they will be wrapping inside one array. So that is the reason it is called as rest. Why? Because it will be taking rest elements. It will take the remaining elements of the array and then put them into a new array. So from one complete group, groups are divided, chorus group and latecomers. So latecomers are rest people. Okay, not the first one. So rest students. So that is the reason it is called as rest operator. Rest operator will be taking rest elements from our destructuring. Practically, you will understand this in more better way. This is also a part of modern JavaScript and it was introduced in ES6, that is ES 2015. Now we have seen simple example. Now in this definition, I am telling elements are taken from the array and rest of the elements are wrapped inside another array. But here now I am talking about handling parameters, and this is the most important reason REST operator was introduced, and this is the definition that I will be showing you once we are done with the practical example. Once you understand how it is used in function, then understanding this definition will be very easy. Without moving to practical, if I tell you this theory example, you will not understand this. So first, let us start with a practical example. Then you will understand analogy is matching with this REST operator. I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Inside this, I am having array of object. I am having one array, and inside this, I am having only one object. And this is my browser, and here this is my console in which we will be seeing our result. And in our previous two sessions, we have seen array destructuring and object destructuring. So in this session, we will be using part of that. If you have not watched those videos, I suggest you to watch that videos. I will be providing link in the description. And as I mentioned, these numbers are random. I have given by myself. So do not consider this number as real. Okay, these are the numbers given by myself. And this entire array of object I will be pasting in comment section so that you can start typing along with me and you can understand the concept in more better way. Okay, we have already seen the syntax of REST operator, 3 dots. This is representing REST operator. I will just comment and here I will be writing syntax of REST operator. Before going into this example, our array of object, let us understand REST operator using one simple example. I will be creating one array. Inside this, I will be giving some values, okay, random values, whatever you want you can give. I will print this array. Save this. Now this is my array which is having 7 elements. Now what I just want to assign variables to each of the elements. I want to take all the elements outside of this array. For that, easily we can do array destructuring, and for every element we can assign variable. For array destructuring, we will be using square brackets. Inside this, I am having 7 elements. So I can give 7 variables A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Save this. Now I will be getting error. What I have to do? I just have to assign it to my array. This is my array. I will be assigning it to my array. Now if I just write this one, this complete thing, if I print, copy, and here I will be pasting, save this. Now you can see all the elements I have taken outside of this array and I have just displayed here. So for A, value will be 2, for B, value will be 4, for C, value will be 6, and it keeps on going. If I have given another value here, save this, I will get error. First, let me just destructure here. I will write H, save this. Now I will be getting undefined. Okay, this is how we will be doing array destructuring. For each and every element, we will be assigning the variable. But now what I want in my bigger project, only these 2 elements are needed. Rest all elements I do not want. So what you can do, you can just remove this one, this entire thing. Only for 2 elements, you can give this variable, and for rest from 6, 60, 78, 90 and 10, what you can do, you just have to write 3 dots, rest operator. You can just write whatever name you want, other variables. Okay, all the elements I have taken, all these elements I have taken, I have put inside this other variables and I have used rest operator. And what rest operator will be returning? It will be returning new array. So this is going to return new array with all these elements. Okay, basically with all these latecomers. These elements came first, so they will be in the part of chorus group. These elements are latecomers, so teacher will be putting them in another group, and that group is nothing but it is an array. And how we can achieve that? Only by writing these three dots, and whatever variable you want, you can easily give that. Now instead of displaying all these things, I can remove. I just have to display this others variable. And while printing this one, you do not have to write three dots. Only while destructuring, inside this array, we have just passed this one. Now as soon as I save this, you can see first two elements, 2 I got for A, 4 will be assigned to B. But for this other variable, all the elements are taken and they have put inside one complete new array. You can see inside this new array, I am having 5 elements, and all these 5 elements for which I have not destructured, those are displayed inside this new array. For better understanding, I will just write here rest elements. Okay, all the rest elements will be treated as another group and they will be stored inside one complete new array. I hope you are clear with this rest operator, why it is used, and what are the elements that will be stored inside this rest operator. And now you will be having a question why it is used. As I mentioned earlier, maybe in your project you need only these two variables. So that is the reason you have destructured, and rest elements you do not want, but for them you want to create one complete new array. So for that we will be using rest operator. And another useful feature you will be seeing in a minute when we start writing about functions. And one important thing you should remember, rest operator will always be placed at the end, because then only JavaScript will be knowing these two elements are taken, and from there all these rest elements has to be taken and that has to be put inside this rest elements variable. If I just write here B, and from here I will remove B. Now you see here only I got the result. A rest element must be the last in destructuring pattern, because here A will be assigned as 2. Now we have used rest operator. So from here to here, rest operator will be taking, because it will be taking all the elements left inside the array. Again we have assigned B. So now JavaScript is not aware what this B is. Now if I save, here also I will be getting the same error. Rest element must be the last element. So I will remove this. Now if I save this, now you can see B is not defined. Let me just remove B from here. Save this. Now only 2 will be assigned to A. Rest from 4 till 10 all will be inside one complete new array. So it is very important to remember, rest operator will always be placed at the end. Collect all the rest elements, or else JavaScript will not be having any idea till when rest operator should collect the element. And you cannot place at the first as well. If you are not having any element here, let me remove. Then this will be working. I will save this. All 7 elements will be treated as new array. But here I cannot write here A after that. I will save. Then again I will be getting error. So rest operator should always be at the last. First you cannot place, middle you cannot place. Always make a note of that. Rest means rest, remaining. So that is the reason it should be at the last. Now let's apply this concept in our example. I will comment this out. My array is this one, cartoon array. Inside this I am having only one object. So first I will do array destructuring and get my object outside of the array. I will write const, and here let me write data. This will be equal to my array. Now if I just display this one, this data should be giving my object. Here I got undefined because here I have used curly braces. We should be using square brackets. Let me remove. For array destructuring, we should wrap inside square brackets. And when we display data from array, I have just extracted this object. Okay, now inside this object, whatever properties I have given, easily I can get from here. As I mentioned, using REST operator, we can completely create new array. So inside object, we are having this array famous character. So from this object, I will be taking this famous characters. So now I will be doing object destructuring. Const for object, we will be using curly braces. Now this will be equal to my data. Now my data is nothing but object, and from object I am just taking famous characters array. Now I will just display this one, log famous characters. Save this. Now you can see using this array destructuring, I got my object, and using this object destructuring, I have just got my array. Now what I will do, before that, let me just comment this one. So first two characters, Doraemon and Nobita, I just want to give them name, primary character and secondary character. And rest all, I should be wrapping in new array, that is other characters. So simply what we can do, same thing, array destructuring, primary character, and here I will be taking secondary character. And for rest all, I do not want to give any variables. I just want it to wrap in new array. I can use this rest operator. I can just write here other characters. And this will be equal to my famous character. Now this is my array. So this entire thing will be equal to my famous character. Now I will display this one. First let me display primary character. Save this. I should be getting the result as Doraemon. Then next I want secondary character. Save this. I should be getting Nobita. Then finally, when I display other characters, see what I will be getting? I will be getting array of rest 4 elements. I will be getting Shizuka, Jian, Sunyo and Dikizuki. So all these 4 elements I will be getting in one separate group, and that group is nothing but it is an array. Okay, I hope till now you are clear what is rest operator and why we should use rest operator. So what it has done, primary character, it is assigned to this first element. Secondary character is assigned to second element, and rest operator I have used. So all the rest elements will be given inside this others character, and it is nothing but it will be treated as an array. So once we got this array, we can apply all array functionalities, all array methods, properties, whatever we have inside array, all that can be applied to this new array. Okay, one thing you have to remember, we are just extracting elements and we are putting in separate variables, but we are not modifying our original array. If I just display this famous character below, save this, then also I am going to get the same result which I got here first, here which I have printed, same result I will be getting at the last, even after taking elements into separate variables. We are not modifying our original array. So this you should remember, and this concept is very useful in React, because React is always happy when we work with immutable data. And previously in our last session we have seen, whenever we are having square brackets in right hand side of assignment group, that will be treated as array, but in left hand side of assignment group it is called as array destructuring. So rest operator also will always be placed at left hand side of assignment group. So you should remember this. Right hand side I will be showing you in next session, but rest operator will always be placed on left hand side of assignment group. It will not be placed on right hand side. If you place on right hand side, that will be treated as spread operator, that in next session. Now finally, let us come to the most important topic for which rest operator was introduced, that is functions. In functions, first I am going to take one simple example. I will write function sum And inside this, I'm just going to write A and B. I will create one variable. Let total is equal to 0. You do not have to understand this logic. We are just going to add two numbers. Now here I will be writing total is equal to A plus B. And I just want to return total. Now here I will be calling this function. Inside this, let me just write here 2, 4. Save this. Now I will not be having any result. I have to display this one log. Inside this, let me just copy. And here I will be pasting. Save this. Now I got the result of 6. Now suppose imagine same function, copy paste. Here I just need 4. I will be adding few more numbers. And here also I will be adding few more numbers. So everywhere I have added arbitrary number of arguments. But here each time if you see, I am getting the result as 6. Let me just change this first number. Save this. Now you can see each time what happens. This function is taking only two parameters. So whenever I am passing these arguments, it is taking only these first two. Rest all these elements are ignored. It is not even considered while passing this one. You can see I am getting 4, 5 plus 4, 9, 7 plus 4, 11. So only these first two elements it will be passed and it will be calculated and it is returning my total. But I do not want this one. So whatever number of arguments I pass here, it should not matter. All the arguments should be taken inside this function parameter and I should be getting the result. So how we can do that? Let me just comment this out. I will write one function. Again we will write sum. And inside this, first let me just copy this. Now one thing you should be aware, rest operator will be returning elements inside array. So for this example, whatever parameter we are going to pass using rest operator, that will be returning in the form of array. So we will be using for of loop. Inside this const number of, here let me just write data, copy, I will paste it here. Now inside this I just want to add all these things. Total plus equal to number. This is as equal to total is equal to total plus number. And finally what I am doing, I am just going to return this total. Okay, if you are not understanding this function, how it is working, I will be explaining you in a minute. But here if you see, now when I pass this data, it is not taking, okay, I got this error. Data is not iterable because here I have used for of loop and here whenever we are using for of loop, the data which we are passing here, it should be iterable. Now for this one, if I just write here let data is equal to 1, 2, 3. Here let me just remove. Now I will save this. Now again you can see I got this result. I got 6, 6, 6, 6. Why I got 6? Because I am calling multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times I am calling. And this data is given here, this complete array. First time my number will be 1. Second time my number will be 2. And third time my number will be 3. If I just add here 5, now my total should be 11. So 6 time it will be running because 6 times I am calling here and it is not treating this arguments. Here I have not passed anything. So it is just ignoring. So now what I have to do, this data should be iterable. If I save this, again I am going to get this result if I pass data. So what I have to do, all these elements I have to take and I have to put inside one new element. And how many arguments I pass, that should not matter. I should be getting different result for number of arguments present inside this function call. So what I have to do, whatever parameter I have passed, I simply have to write rest operator, three dots. Now what this will be returning? This will be returning new array, which will be having this first two elements for first call, all these elements in second call, then third call, then fourth call, fifth call, sixth call. So first time data will be equal to array of these two elements. So in second call, this data will be equal to array of 5 elements. I will save this. Now you can see I will be getting the sum of all these elements. For each and every call, I will be having different result. Let me just write log, and here I will be printing data. Save this. Now you can see first time my data is 2 and 4. So sum of 2 and 4 is 6. So it has taken, I have passed two arguments. So using rest operator, it has taken, and we have done this for of loop, and we have displayed the result. Second time when I am calling, you can see the result of data. My data is array of all these elements. So these elements will be taken inside data, and it will be looping with all those elements, and I will be getting the sum. So third time this will be the result, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. So this is the main reason rest operator was introduced, to pass any number of arguments inside our function call. Okay, here while you are wrapping this one, you do not have to wrap inside this square brackets, because rest operator will be wrapping all the elements inside the array itself. Okay, now if I just write like this, I will be getting this error. Number 2 is not iterable. Okay, you will get this error. Okay, we cannot write like this. Inside array, we cannot write 2 and 4. Okay, it will not work. So that is the reason we cannot do this one. I will remove. I hope you are clear with this simple example. We are just adding numbers based on these arguments given in this function call. Now, if you understood that function example, now understanding this will be very easy. The definition: rest parameter is a part of modern JavaScript ES6, which was added to improve the ability to handle parameters. Only to handle those parameters, rest operator was introduced. REST operator syntax allows a function to accept indefinite number of arguments as an array, providing a way to represent functions in JavaScript. You can see indefinite number of arguments. If I pass 100 arguments, then also I will be getting the result. Okay, here we just have to pass three dots, and we have to pass parameter. Just take your time. You can use for each loop, you can use for loop, and understand this example. So now what we will do, we will be adding method inside our example. I will come up, and below this famous character, I will be adding one method inside my object. I will just write here cartoon series, and inside this I will be passing this function, and here I will write data1, data2, and finally data3. Okay, here I am passing multiple parameters, and here I will just write log. Simply using this template literal, I will print data1, then I will print data2. Okay, whatever sentence you want, you can give, and finally I will print data3. And here I am getting error because object properties or methods has to be separated by comma. Now I have created this method. Now I will be calling this method. My object is data. We have already destructured. So let me just come down. And here I will write data dot cartoon series, and inside this I have passed three parameters. In my function, I have passed three parameters. So here I will be passing three arguments. Shin-e, producer of Doraemon. And finally, I will be passing one more value, that is Koshibi, who has given music inside Doraemon. Now I will save this. Now I got three results. First one, second one, and third one. All these three values I have got because here, while creating this method, I have passed here three parameters. Now suppose here I have added one more value. I have just written another data. Save this. Now I will not be having any error in the function. Here I have passed only three parameters, but while calling this method, I have passed four arguments. I will not be having any error, but first three values will be displayed to me. Similar way, here also we did not have any error. Only first two values it was taking and it was adding the sum. Similarly, for this also, we will not be having any error. But here, it should not matter how many arguments I am passing. It should always display entire result. I will come here. So what we have to do, just remove this entire thing. Again, same process. You just have to write three dots. Inside this, I will write all data. Now it will be returning array. So instead of displaying this one, what I have to display? Log, and here I will be writing all data. Now as soon as I save, you can see it returned array of 4 elements. Now even if you pass here A, if you pass here B, if you pass here C, it will not matter. All will be taken and it will be put inside one complete new array. So you can simply say, with the use of REST operator, we can gather any number of arguments into an array and do whatever we want with them. So now we have new array. We can apply all the array methods, array concept and everything. Now what happens if I pass two parameters inside my function? Now here I have passed only one REST parameter. Before that, I will just write here data1, comma, and also I'm going to display log data1. So what happens here? Exactly, if you are thinking this first element will be assigned to this data1 and all this rest will be treated inside another array, then you are absolutely right. I will save this. You can see data1 is first element, whatever I have passed while calling first element, and rest all will be wrapped inside one complete new array. Another important question most students will be having, can we pass two REST operator inside one function or inside one array when we are using this one? So the answer is no. Let me just pass here two REST operator. Now here only I got this error. A REST parameter must be in the last parameter list. Either I can pass one or whichever elements I want in separate variables, I can pass them at the beginning. I cannot pass two REST parameters inside one function or inside one array. Why? Because here first time I have passed REST parameter. So by definition of REST parameter, it will be taking all REST elements. So in first parameter also, if I am having REST operator, and in second operator also, if I am having REST operator, JavaScript will not be having any idea till when element should be considered for first operator and for second operator. So you should always remember these 3 points when it comes to REST operator. REST operator will always be placed on left hand side of assignment operator. REST operator can only be placed at the end. And third point, only one REST operator can be used inside one function or inside one array where we want to extract the values. For separate array, you can create another REST operator, but only one REST operator for each. Now I will be showing you some exercises for which you have to think for a second and you have to write the answer so that you can master this REST operator concept. Here I will just write exercise. and everything. I'm just going to comment. My console is empty. This will be our first exercise. I will just pause the video for 1 minute. Until now, whatever you have understood, based on that, you can provide the answer in comment section, or else you can just take a note of this. I will also be showing you answer in a minute. Okay, I hope you have written the answer and you have understood this example. This is a function in which I am passing this parameter, and this is a REST operator. And while calling, I am just calling with 4 arguments. I have brinjal, cauliflower, lady's finger and capsicum. So first, A and B will be given this one, first and second value, and C will be taking all these REST arguments. So now let me just save this one. Now you can see first one, value of A and B, I got this result. And for C, I got array of REST elements. Whatever REST I am having, that is printed, and C of 1. Okay, now this is array. So this will be 0th index and this will be first index. So C of index 1 will be capsicum. So capsicum is displayed. And index of capsicum. What is the index of capsicum? I got the result as 1. So if you got all the answers right, then you have understood the concept. But if you are not aware of this index of and what is the answer, but still if you were able to solve this 3, then you have understood what is REST operator and how it will be used. Now finally, this will be the challenge for you. Here I am having one function. Inside this I am having parameters, and with different number of arguments, I have just called this function. So you can provide the answer in comment section, or else again you can take a note of this. So later on, whenever you revise, you can easily understand what is REST operator and what will be the answer of all these variables. That's all for this session. If you are having any doubts, you can comment down your doubts. I will try to answer, or else I will be making separate video on that and I will be clarifying your doubts. Next session, we will understand what is spread operator and we will see multiple example to understand spread operator. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a great day.